So all this week really I've just been riding Indian made bikes. So you know, the Pulsars, the Bullet, even the RX, the Yamaha is actually an Escort made in India. But now we're on an Indian bike again, I'm afraid. That's not necessarily a bad thing though. This is an RTR Apache. It's the 180. They also do a 160 version. And yeah, I've been trying to get one of these for a little while and they just haven't really been available. And finally found one for rent. And first impressions, feels really good. Feels quite sporty, makes a great noise. Certainly feels a little bit quicker than the Pulsar 180. And it's definitely a bit softer. But again, that's good. Yeah, it makes a nice little growl. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I lost my my microphone, but it's okay. I got another one. I got like a backup one, but I had to sort of improvise it with a bit of duct tape. So it keeps sort of flapping around a little bit. So I apologise if the audio is not brilliant. Yeah, it does make a nice noise. Let's get it into the corners and see what's what. Okay, so here we go again. Again, not brilliant tyres, quite sort of worn nylon tyres. Feels really comfy. The spring rate feels pretty much perfect for these sort of roads. Almost on the Splendor like in terms of the how comfy it is, but it's certainly got a bit more power. The nice big rev counter in the middle, old school rev counter, red lines to about 9,000 apparently, and does like to rev. It's a bit of a vibration, but it doesn't really get transmitted through the body much. It does make a nice noise. Just the standard exhaust on this as well, so that's just engine noise. Okay, let's pick up the pace a little bit. Yeah, I've ridden the 160 of these. I've not ridden the 180. This is the, I think the largest one they do. It's a lovely little engine. Just flipping the throttle there on the downshifts. Does love to rev. Clutch is really nice. You can two-finger clutch, two-finger brake, no problem at all. And it feels really well balanced. The bars are sort of in a sporty position, but they've at a nice height relative to where you're sat. So it just feels like a really neutral position. Guy who rented it off said that the people who borrowed it yesterday were complaining that the gearbox wasn't finding gears properly. I'm not having any of those problems at all. It seems quite slick to me. Finds neutral every time. Feels nice and direct. Back brake's not in great condition. Pads are the disc is really worn, so there's a lot of travel in the back brake pedal, but other than that, it's still got a fair bit of bite actually. It's probably the best back brake I've had of any of the bikes I've tried so far. Oh, come on. It's always on the nice twisty bits, isn't it? It's never on a straight bit you get a bus. He's going to go now, is he? I might follow him through. Need to get this done before he gets up to speed. Trucks are nice and easy because obviously they don't get up enough speed very quickly, but taxis, cars, quite tricky because they're a bit quicker, and if you don't have a powerful bike you need to find a long enough space to get past them, and you don't get many of those on roads like this. Don't you dare. There's a rather disconcerting grinding noise coming from underneath me. I'm not sure what that is, but sort of skip around that. There's a few little shimmies and that, but it's always in control. I don't know how heavy this bike is, but it feels pretty light. It feels certainly a better balance than the Pulsar 180. And dynamically, I think certainly feels a lot better. Much nicer position. Oh, just hitting the bumps in the middle of the corner there. No issues. Probably in the wrong gear there, but enough torque to rev it out. Oof. Yeah, I really like this thing. This is good. There's nothing wrong with Indian-made bikes. Actually, pretty good. It's the sort of Chinese bikes you need to worry about. Yeah, even over here, like all the guys, none of them really rate any of the Chinese bikes. Don't you fucking dare. But yeah, Indian bikes are actually reasonably solid. They have to be, you know. They're being ridden on the most awful roads you can imagine, so they have to be pretty tough. But Chinese bikes, I reckon give it another 5 years or so, they'll be making some good bikes. Some of you might actually be wondering why I'm just riding shitty little displacement, small displacement bikes, and not riding like big sport bikes and dirt bikes and stuff. It's very simple. You can't really get them over here. Sort of maximum CC you can buy of it really is about sort of 250. You can buy an R1. You know, you could go and buy an R1 and bring it into the country and ride it around. Problem is the import tax. You're going to be looking about 200% import tax, something ridiculous. So if you bought an R1 in UK, that's like what, a £9,000 bike? Over here that would cost you, by the time you've shipped it over, sort of £25,000, something like that. Which, you know, £25,000 in Nepalese is just ridiculous. You could buy an amazing house for that. So you don't see them very often. You do see the odd sport bike. I saw an R6 the other day. Again, like an old 2005, and again I saw a 2005 Fireblade as well. But that's it. That's the only sport bikes I've seen here. You won't really see many. Any sort of big displacement Japanese bikes just cost far too much money. So it's only the super rich really that have them. And to be honest, you just can't use it. Like, you know, a big sport bike on the road like this, I wouldn't trust myself. Ooh, big slide there, real slippery. Lock the back brake up a bit much there. But yeah, you just wouldn't be able to do it, and you just destroy the thing. I mean, those bikes are not set up for these sort of roads. Oh, he's slipping around a little bit. It's quite slippery today. But So yeah, it's just a complete waste really having a big bike like that. So I think the biggest displacement bike you can really buy is probably the Bullet, the Enfield. You know, the sort of 350. Oh, lots of cute little goats. It's getting pretty wet up here now actually, yeah, so don't really trust these tyres in this sort of weather. There's just random heaps of rock in the road. I lost my confidence a little bit after those little slides. So yeah, you can't really get massive bikes over here, but you don't need them anyway. You can hire a few sort of Japanese bikes. You can hire like a Honda XL. There's a few XRs for hire, you know, sort of like 185, 250s, a few 350s around, I think. Like you can get Suzuki DRs, but again, very hard to rent. I don't really see any for rent. You do see a few around. I saw an XR 400 Supermoto actually, which was in Tamil for rent. I was very tempted, but again, it's like 5,000 rupees or something. So as opposed to like 800 for a conventional Indian bike. So yeah, if you got a lot of money, there are some good Japanese dirt bikes and stuff that you can hire. But to be honest, there's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this little thing. Brakes are good. Wow, this is slippery. Catch me if you can. There you go. You get all these people with like funny things written on the back of their windows, like "Catch me if you can." It's like, dude, you're in a Hyundai. Ah, the sun's come out a little bit now though. That's quite nice. Yeah, a little bit of a slide. It's sliding a little bit, but it's not like the FZ was sliding around in the dry just because the spring weight was just too hard. This is just sliding around because I'm just going around on all the slippery stuff. I might be able to get him on this bit. I don't always go up this far, but I'm quite enjoying this. Apart from this fucking guy. It's fair enough, he's not going too quickly. Should be easy enough once I get a little spot. Man. Yeah, there we go. The rev counter, the needle just like, when it gets up to near the red line, it just vibrates back and forward loads. It's like, stop! What are you doing? Saying that, it does like to be revved. And it seems to pull pretty much all the way up to the red line. very slippery. Ooh, a bit of a look up there. They just don't get good tyres here at all. It's the same in sort of India and that as well, I think. Most of the tyres are all nylon rather than rubber. I think we're pretty much near the top now. I think we've gone about as far as we need to. I'm going to go back down now and try not to wipe out and kill myself.